Over the years, the DMC series has given us some of the most goated pieces of weaponry, ranging from swords, firearms, and gauntlets. More importantly, we got some of the most insane and outlandish ideas for weaponry ever to be seen in video game history. Hello, it's the Devil Joe back again with a brand new video, and today I'm gonna find out which Devil May Cry game has the best
crazy
Dante weapons, since I went over Yamato along with the different gauntlets and the 4 versions of Beowulf. I thought, why not look at some of the most off-the-wall weapons Dante has picked up over the years. Doesn't matter if it's a devil arm or firearm. All that matters is how bonkers the weapon is. So I'll be looking at Nevan, Pandora, Lucifer, Cavalier, and Dr. Faust, ranking them based off of the following categories. Creativity. Which one of these weapons had the wildest concept behind it? Damage. Which one of them made the demons bleed out the hardest? Crowd control. Which one of these weapons was the best at handling large crowds? Moveset. Which one of these had the sickest looking moves? I'll have a top 5 at the end of the video to find out which weapon wins the World Heavyweight Zany Championship title. Without further ado, let's jump into this crazy ranking. First up, we got Nevan from Devil May Cry 3. Using the powers of pure, unadulterated heavy metal, vaporizing them demons by busting out the sickest riffs to ever be heard. It's essentially a demonic electric scythe guitar that shoots out swarms of electrified bats. It's one thing to use an electric guitar to smack someone over the head, and another thing to beat on them using thrash metal notes referencing DMC2's OST, while slicing them up using that scythe. Now that is something else. Hold that triangle button for combo 1 where Dante starts playing Shoot the Works, summoning a flurry of bats, guarding you while staggering a couple of demons that are about to hit Dante. You got a second recharge, combo 2, shooting a couple of bats on a one at a time basis. Keep mashing the button to get Dante to start thrashing one of the hardest solos of all time through the jam session. A massive AoE attack that catches multiple enemies coming at you, all in one time, keeping them at bay, while dealing crazy amounts of damage, vaporizing them devils trying to swipe you all at one time, while rocking out hard to that solo. The combo 3 is more like a stun back away move, doing some pretty decent damage, staggering the enemies it hits. This damn guitar has its own stinger known as Reverb Shock, sliding towards them demons, summoning a ton of electrically charged bats, draining a ton of their HP away. The thing has high time, throwing them up in the air for a juggle or two. Hold the button, then Dante will start shredding out more electrical bats, wasting some demonic HP. Back from DMC1 is them air raids with Nevan equipped. Pop the devil trigger, hit the lock-on button midair, then Dante starts flying around. Push the square button to start striking demons down with lightning, draining their HP out of the ballpark. The vortex is back to push the triangle button, then Dante starts ramming them demons. But in 3 it only goes straight ahead, not up and down like in DMC1. Pick Swordmaster for some scythe action. The style button gets you to swing the scythe on the ground and in the air for some up-close personal combos, making anyone hit by it bleed by the truckloads, till their eventual deaths. You got feedback, allowing Dante to rotate the scythe around his body, mowing down a ton of demons, deleting a few devils off the battlefield. Then you got distortion. Dante thrashes a distorted riff to shoot out a ton of electric bats. The more you hold, the more damage it deals, one-shotting a couple of enemies. All in all, this devil arm is my favorite weapon in DMC3 that isn't Rebellion or Beowulf. I mean, you're quite literally moving around a dark ancient demon summoning tower, killing all of its inhabitants, playing very modern-ass metal music, disrespecting everything that Temini Gru stands for. Now that's the definition of being stylishly metal. On the other hand, this thing comes with a few caveats. As great as it is for crowd control, you gotta keep one thing in mind. If you want to get this thing to work, then you gotta get used to minding your own positioning, since a lot of these moves find Dante staying in place. If you're not careful of where Dante stands trying to pull off jam session, you'll get chewed up and spit out badly, especially on Dante Must Die. If you mind your positioning and timing, you'll be pulling off some of the sickest looking rifts, putting on one hell of a show. Next up is the Pandora and Lucifer from Devil May Cry 4, kicking this entry off with the greatest and most overpowered weapon in the history of all Devil May they cry. The entire thing boils down to a suitcase that can turn into 666 different guns and cannons. United States Second Amendment be damned. But it's the MC4 we're talking here. Out of the 666 firearms, you only play around with 7 of them. Starting off with the Epidemic, push the square button to fire off a rocket from a bowgun, filling in a third of the disaster gauge, dealing some serious damage, breaking away at a few crowds. Hold the shoot button while dicking around with the left analog stick. You get the Hatred rocket launcher that shoots 3 rockets at the same time, blowing away any crowd that was being a pain in the ass to deal with, making them scarecrows bleed where it hurts the most. Spin the left analog stick for that sweet, deep kicking revenge. A giant fuckhole cannon melting away at every single demonic horde, unfortunate enough to get caught in the big dick energy blast, filling an entire quarter of the disaster gauge. In the air you get Jealousy, a Gatling gun that does a decent amount of damage, filling that disaster gauge little by little. You might be asking, wait, what's the deal with this whole disaster gauge? It's simple, it's